Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I am Bill Levinson, managing partner with Levinson and Associates. With us today, we have two special guest speakers. Of course, the Joseph Lochran, our brokerage manager, and we also have another guest speaker who is excellent and very, very experienced in the whole social media and website world, especially geared towards insurance agents. So we are delighted to have Ken joining us. We have some great stuff to talk about. And you know, the reason why we've been building up this presentation, okay, as you know, we always build up our weekly webinar trainings, but this one is a little different. And the reason why is, if you've known me for a long time, I'm always the one out there preaching, you know, hey, you got to use e-applications and drop tickets and make sure you have your home base as your website and, you know, figure out a way to drive traffic and market yourself on social media and how important that is. And we had so many agents and carriers and vendors, you know, look at us in the past like we had three heads. They thought we were nuts. And, you know, here, fast forward to today, you know, during this whole COVID-19 pandemic, now agents and carriers, quite frankly, are forced to sell over the phone and virtually, right, as we know. And if you don't have a website or you're not using an e-application or a quoting engine online, you are literally running in reverse, okay, especially during this time. And it doesn't matter anymore if you're 17 years old or 83 years old. If you're not utilizing the latest technology and resources, you're driving or literally riding a horse around New York City in 2020, which is freaking nuts, as Gary Vaynerchuk says, right? So anyway, we, yes, have an awesome website platform, a great social media platform, a CRM tool, everything that you've heard me speak about for the last few years. And what we wanted to do today, and I'm just going to fast forward and shift gears, is we have our Insure Me Now Direct site, that direct-to-consumer website that is, quite frankly, 100% driven by you, the agent. So you make all of the commissions plus renewals in some cases, and you control everything. First time it's ever been done, and we all know that this was the secret recipe, if you will, especially during COVID-19. So yes, we have literally thousands of agents getting set up. We have a lot of our competitors coming to us, especially during this time, saying, hey, Bill, we want to offer this to our agents. And yes, they think it's great and wonderful and everything else, but they're doing it mainly to play defense because they don't want their agents to get a hold of us, and ultimately they lose that relationship, okay? So this platform is up and running. We now have 6 carriers, 16 products. It's wonderful. But the biggest question is, hey, Bill, my platform's up and running, and I don't know how to drive traffic to this. Everything looks great. It works perfect, and everything's fine. But I want to make sales on my platform, and I want to go after more people than just my existing book of clients, right, as we all know. And, you know, me and Joe and the rest of our team here, we, yes, have a great platform, but we needed something a little more advanced. We needed someone that was behind the wheel that gets it, right? Which is when you say, does someone get it? You know, that could mean so many different things. And in my opinion, that is the lottery ticket that we all need as insurance agents to make sure this program works and we make money. So Ken gets it, okay? I was first introduced to Ken a few months back, and I was very intrigued. I love what he's doing, and we basically put together a co-op platform for all of the Levinson agents out there where you can take advantage of a very high-tech website that works and a social media marketing program that works, and it's very, very inexpensive. You get a big discount because you're a Levinson agent. We have a landing page where you can sign up and you can literally get started today. So basically what Ken is going to talk about, okay, and it's what we all need to be successful in 2020 and moving into the future, is a new updated website, okay, where yes, your Insure Me Now direct button and landing page will sit, okay. Number one, it's a revamped retail website website. Number two is a social media marketing platform, okay, where Ken's actually going to sit down with you, of course, on a phone call and interview you to make sure that he is marketing for you. It's your brand, your personal touch, and everything looks and feels like it's coming from you. So he's going to do all of that. And there's an option to where, and I always preach this right now, and Gary Vee says the same thing, Facebook ads are where it's at. And there's so many lead companies out there, okay, and they're all marketing on Facebook and on social media and through eBlast, and a lot of these young guys and girls right out of high school and college, and they're selling these leads for final expense or mortgage protection. All they're doing is running Facebook ads, and they're keeping the cream of the crop for themselves, and then they're selling you the B and C lead. So I always said, hey, if you can build, especially on Facebook, if you can build your own Facebook ad and create your own leads, you are so much better off, and the lead cost goes down tremendously. So anyway, Ken also has a coaching platform. I believe it's a 30-minute session where he shows you exactly how to do this, and that is so important these days. I cannot stress this enough, okay? If there's one thing you walk away from by the time we're done in 45 minutes, let it be, okay, and write this down. You need to learn how to create your own Facebook ads, okay? Your lead costs will go down tremendously, and you will get to pick that, hey, you know what, Bill Levinson, life insurance agent, I'm going to keep the A leads for myself. Maybe I have a couple agents that work under me, and I'll work with them on the B and C leads, but you need to learn how to do this. We're doing it right now to obviously recruit and service agents, and it's working. We get 10 to 20 leads per day from our Facebook ad right now. We spend about $500 a month. It is unbelievable. So you can imagine, think about the pool, the size of the pool out there, right? You think about the agent pool, and then think about the difference in size when it comes to the consumer or client pool that's out there, okay? It's what, a million times the size, whatever it is. So just think about the opportunities for you to sell on social media. So anyway, he's got a great platform for building your own ads where he will coach you, and I believe he records it and then sends it out to you so you can use it for reference. And then number 4, we're going to talk about driving traffic. So we're going to move forward right now. And what I want to do real quick is go over some statistics. I'm going to show you 2 quick 1-minute videos. I sat down with Gary Vaynerchuk last year. He is the king of social media and driving traffic. In fact, he put together, his company created 3 Super Bowl commercials last Super Bowl, okay? And they were all meant to drive traffic to that company's home base or landing page. So we sat down for 1 hour. I'm going to show you 2 1-minute highlight clips. I want you all to see how important it is to use social and obviously a retail website, okay? Okay, so real quick, I'm going to have Joe go over some of these statistics real quick. And the reason why I want Joe to touch on this is because you all need to realize how important this is to sustain and grow your business moving forward. Joe, do you want to touch on this quickly, and then I'll introduce the videos?
Yeah, thanks, Bill. And I think it's more important now than ever, especially with everybody kind of being home for several weeks, and everyone's on their phones, and of course, what they're doing is using social media. So we found some really, really interesting statistics. I mean, you've got over 2.41 billion monthly active users. 300 million people use Facebook stories daily. And even 60% of Americans who watch digital video do it on Facebook. So, I mean, most people are pretty much addicted to social media. And just like you said, making sure that you're using the right pool of marketing to kind of get your name in front of the right people is especially important. So I think, being in that right place for people to see you is super important, and making sure that you have something that's attractive is really going to be helpful. So on average, Facebook users click on 11 ads per month. So if you're not one of those ads, you're kind of missing out by not really even paying attention to the social media conversation. So these numbers are only growing. We're seeing a huge increase. I remember every year we do our annual Agent Expo, and about 5 to 6 years ago, we really started picking up on a lot of the Facebook marketing stats, and those agents that were using them were definitely doing significantly better than those agents that weren't. So it's definitely been around for a while, but every day we're seeing the impact be more and more relevant when it comes to clients purchasing products. And now that we have the Insure Me Now Direct platform and clients can purchase directly through their agent's portal, you're really kind of making that whole transaction pretty seamless, which is why it's even more important to have that online presence and get in front of them through those social media platforms.
Yes, very important. And you think to yourself, hey, it's only the young kids that are using social media. It is a different world now, okay? My grandma, okay, she's in a assisted living home right now. She has a Facebook page. She's texting me, okay? She's what, 96, 95 now, I believe, so, or 96. But anyway, she's got a Facebook page. So the point is, everybody's eyeballs are on social media, mainly Facebook right now. So what does that tell you? You have to have a presence. And then you drive traffic using social media. You bring everyone back to your home base, which is your website. And the new site we're launching today is a game changer. Okay, so it's like if you think about the old brick and mortar days, you're like totally renovating and resurfacing your brick and mortar storefront on University Drive. That's what today's presentation is about. I'm going to start off real quick. We have, if everyone can turn up your speakers, by the way, we have a 1 minute quick video, me and Gary V in his home office in New York City, and we talk about how important it is to have a website as an insurance agent. And it's so relevant, especially to today's time, because you think about the blockbusters and the yellow cabs, and look what happened with Netflix and with Uber. They were always thinking forward. What can we do next? What can we do better? How can we put all of this technology into an app, right? And look what happened. Okay, the proof is in the pudding. The next one, real quick, before we introduce Ken, is same exact podcast. By the way, you should check out that episode, me and Gary V. It's freaking awesome. This is another quick one on why it's so important to market on social media. And by the way, this was a year ago, so just think about that for a minute. Turn up your volume. Let's sit back and relax. Very, very strong, very strong. So check out that episode. Like I said, when you get a chance, there's some great information on there. And again, to be relevant and build, especially what we're going through now, I cannot stress enough how important it is for you to have a presence online. It's huge. It literally, it's going to change the game, and it has already. Okay, without further ado, I want to jump into today's feature presentation. We have Mr. Ken French from Snoozy. As soon as he's done, me and Joe are going to show you how to get started this afternoon, and then it's time for you to take the wheel and go from there. Ken, are you there?
I'm ready, yes.
Okay, let's do it.
So thanks, guys. So I just wanted to kind of start off and introduce myself. I think it's important everyone knows that myself and my entire company, our background's in the insurance industry. I kind of grew up in the industry. My grandfather was in it. My father was in it. Somewhere in the late 90s, I got in it. And back then, they used to own a company that you would call, kind of like an IMO or an FMO. We helped independent agents sell, obviously life insurance, Medicare, employee benefits, individual health. And somewhere in the late 90s, I remember my dad kind of coming into my office and saying, look, you got to help us figure out ways to get, producers for us to get more producers to put business through us. How are you going to do that? And even back then, my idea was marketing and technology. And I started to build websites back in the late 90s. And I would generate some leads, and I would go to producers and say, hey, you're not putting your business through us. All I ask is if you sell any of these leads I'm giving you, you give us a try. And as time went on into the 2000s, obviously the smarter producers said, hey, it's 2004. I really need to have a web presence now. This is becoming important. And I started to build websites for our top producers. Long story short, 5 or 10 websites turned into 50 websites that turned into about 100 websites. And I developed a whole team behind me. It was kind of a department within our operation that did that for our producers. And I got very good at understanding, what it takes to have a good insurance industry website. To make a very long story short, my dad was getting older. Healthcare reform was on the horizon in 2009, and we ended up selling the business. And all of the employees that worked there went to the company that bought us. And I decided with my 4 other guys in my department to start a new company that kind of kept doing what we were doing, which was building websites for independent agents. So my point is I've been doing this since 2009. I basically do 2 things. I build custom websites for independent agents, and I help agents who just don't have the time with social media to post content. And, I think Bill made a lot of really good points. At the end of the day, I'm not here to sell you on the idea of having a website in 2020. In my opinion, it's a cost of doing business. I'm not here to sell you on the idea of using social media. In my opinion, it's a cost of doing business. I believe in 2 things. I believe in retention and referrals. Those are the key to any, insurance agent who's ever been successful that I've known. And I feel that your web presence, whether it's your website, your social media presence, those 2 things are the foundation for increasing retention and referrals. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that, we're here to kind of put all these pieces together for you. And, to build a site can be overwhelming. You kind of don't know exactly what you need, how it needs to be set up. I mean, obviously you might sell various life insurance products, but you might sell other products as well. And how do you combine all that together? So our experience really allows us to kind of talk with you, understand your style and how you do things. And then we do all that heavy lifting. We'll design the site, come up with the content, and try to put you in a position to utilize the site. So what I want to do is initially go through my website services. I do have some samples that we'll go through as well. Then we'll talk a little bit about social media and how I can help you and what the big picture is. And we'll also talk about our social media kind of coaching services as well, and go from there. The first thing I'll say is I would be happy to chat with anybody. That's kind of how I always like to start off any type of relationship working. I'd love to kind of talk with you for about 10 or 15 minutes, learn about your style, how you do things, and really make sure I can help you. So moving forward, that's always on the table. If anyone has any basic interest in what I do, the one thing I promise everyone is I'm very, very blunt. I'll tell you right off the bat, I'm not here to make you number 1 on Google for Florida life insurance. That's not how it works. On the flip side, I am here to try to build you something customized that's going to help you grow your business. So anyway, long story short, I only work in the insurance industry. My clients are only independent agents. If you referred me to a lawyer or to a florist, I'm not going to help them. And that allows me to understand, obviously, the compliance rules. It allows me to understand a lot of the technology that's out there. And it really allows me to understand the basics of all the products that you're offering. My typical clients usually sell life insurance, Medicare, annuities. Certainly, I have P&C clients. I have employee benefit clients. I have ACA and under 65 clients. If it's insurance, I'm sure I've built some sort of website to help you with it. And anything I build can certainly be customized to include all the products you offer. The way it works is, I would say step one is obviously sit through today's presentation. Try to listen to me as best you can. And if you like what you hear, go to this website. It's at the bottom of each page on these slides, levinson.snoozy.net. That is a special little marketing site that I've given to the guys at Levinson that reviews my services. There's some quick 2, 3, 4-minute videos that goes through how I do things. There's samples on there. That is the next step. Go there, check that out. If you like what you see, click on the I'm interested button in the upper right-hand corner, and that will send me your information, and we'll set up kind of what I would call a quick 10, 15-minute free trial. Once we kind of do the free consultation, either A, you and I are gonna have some synergy, and we're gonna have a game plan, and we're gonna get you signed up. Or B, maybe, like I said, I'm a blunt guy. If what you're hoping I accomplish I can't do, make no mistake, I'm gonna tell you that as well. But for most people, I usually can help them. I have them sign up for the free trial, so that's always kind of the number one question. Ken, how much is this gonna cost? Do I have to pay thousands of dollars up front? The answer is initially you don't pay anything up front if you just want the website service. You sign up for a free trial. You and I will then set up about a 30-minute detailed phone call where we're going to talk insurance. And we're going to go through from A to Z how you do things. I'm a big believer that, yes, of course you need a website, but you really need something customized to the way you do things. Because the way you're going to get success with this website is to actually use it. Like I said, it's very hard for people to just randomly find your website and randomly buy life insurance. In my opinion, that's probably not possible. But it doesn't mean that you don't have systems and styles to drive people to this website to make that happen. So my point is step one is we'll set up about a 30-minute call. We'll talk through how you do things. I'll ask you questions. I'll get a feel kind of for your style. And then it's up to me to build it all out. It's going to probably take 4 or 5 days for me to do that. I'll send it over to you. We can go through it together. We can change anything you possibly want to change. We can use whatever web address you want to use if you have a domain already. I'm not going to get involved with your email or anything like that, so that can stay status quo. And usually within a week to 2 weeks, the new website is up, it's running, and it's live. So that brings you to what are you actually paying? And I've tried to create a pricing model that's pretty simple. As Bill mentioned, Levinson brokers will get a special discount pricing on our website services. The cost will be $59.99 a month. So think of it like this. If you came to me for just a website, let's say you signed up today. Today is what, May 12th? We would do an interview as soon as possible. Hopefully it would take me about 4 or 5 days to get it all built out. At that point, it would probably be up in, let's say, 4 to 7 days. Fast forward to June 12th, you would pay your first $59.99. It's a month-by-month contract. I try to keep it simple. The $59.99 includes everything I'm about to go over. So it includes, obviously, setting up the site. More importantly, if you need to make changes to the site, there's no cost. Let's say Levinson comes out with some even greater technology next month and you need to incorporate it into the site. I'm not here to nickel and dime you. You just email us, call us. We make the change for you immediately. There's no cost. I actually encourage my clients to make changes because I know if you're making changes to your site, you're using your site. And if you're using your site, you're getting results. In my opinion, the guy who's struggling with his website is the guy who has his website but hasn't looked at it in 7 months. To be honest, if that's you, I probably don't want you as a client. I want guys who go, I get it. 2020, need to have a website. I need to be accountable for everything on that website. And most importantly, I got to send people to the site. I got to send people there into my online quoting and shopping life insurance portal, or I got to send them in there to fill out a life insurance questionnaire or do an analyzer. All that stuff we can build in. But anyway, I don't mean to get off topic. So obviously we'll set up the site changes. Those are included. We host your website. We will do what's called search engine optimization from an internal standpoint. So we'll do all the internal SEO. Does that mean you're going to be number one on Google for New York life insurance? No, it doesn't. It means that if people are searching for you and your agency, you should come up number one when they search for you. We'll do our best to try to get you up on the searches, but that's pretty hard today. In my opinion, that's not the best thing to focus on. It's better to focus on doing the advertising, the marketing, and we'll talk about that shortly. Of course, your site will be secure. It'll be HTTPS secure. Your site will be what's called mobile responsive. So it'll look good on a smartphone. It'll look good on an iPad. It'll work fine on an old school computer. And rest assured that as time goes on, we are always investing in the technology so your site remains, state of the art. And that's included in what we do. More important, I am a big functionality guy. And I believe every site that we design should have some sort of purpose to it, some sort of strategy in it. So what you're looking at right now is just a sample of one of the sites we've built. And, you can see right off the bat that, we have some call to action immediately where someone can come in, certainly just kind of request a basic quote with you, or they can go right in to your Insure Me Now direct portal, immediately and start quoting and buying the products. So all that kind of stuff we can certainly build into the site. If you're looking to just get their basic information and shop for them traditionally, we can certainly build in like a life insurance questionnaire, some sort of form like I'm showing you now. Long story short, this sample is on the levinson.snoozy.net marketing site. You guys can certainly check that out. But again, my main focus anytime someone comes to me is any website we build, we want to have a game plan in place. The game plan cannot be, oh, I have a website, I hope something happens. That's not going to cut it anymore. It's 2020. You have to have some things in your website that make you more efficient and save you time. If you're selling life insurance, like I said, we can have all sorts of questionnaires and we can have the shopping capabilities in there. If you're selling Medicare, we can let people go to the site and submit their drug information and dosage amount, shop for dental insurance. I'm sure it's different for each type of product you offer, but that is my job when we do the interview, to talk through how you guys do things and to hopefully develop some things in the site that just save you time. Because let's face it, if we're just talking about life insurance and annuities, a lot of these products are what I call trust products, right? People just don't impulsively say, all right, I'm buying it. They need to kind of feel good about you. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have door opener products. So my point is that anything we can build on the website to give you an excuse to send people to the site is an opportunity for you to hopefully cross-sell secondary products. And that's what I found my top clients have been doing. They're using their site almost for customer service, day-to-day drudgery. Anyway, so all that kind of stuff I'm talking about, completely included in what I do. Obviously, if you're more of a P&C agency, we can get you set up with all sorts of customer service tools there, let people file claims, make payments. In just the website package, I do also offer basic setup of your social media pages. And just make no mistake, I'm going to talk about the social media service in a minute here. But if you didn't want that and you just wanted help with a website, we will get you set up with a business Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And I do also offer kind of a weekly podcast that's about 5 minutes each week, where I try to offer education to my clients, free education, where, I try to teach you how to connect with the right people on LinkedIn, how to set up ads on Facebook, like the 5-minute quick versions of that. So you'll get access to our library of training videos as part of the monthly $59.99. So that's the website services. Just to kind of give you a little history, I started this company back in 2009. And back in 2009, I actually did those weekly podcasts. I do them each week. And what started to happen was a lot of my clients would come on the webinars, and then they'd call me up and they'd say, hey, Ken, look, it's, I was on your webinar about using LinkedIn to, try to generate some referrals, or I was on your webinar about Facebook, using it as a drip marketing tool to generate, increase retention. I'm starting to get it, but it's just me. I work by myself. I'm all over the place. Gosh, I don't have time every day to keep my social media presence active. Is there any way you can help me with that? So by the end of 2011, we came out with a second service called Social Media Management. And, I know Bill pumped up using Facebook and setting up ads, and, I agree with everything he said. But I'm going to give everyone a disclaimer and a little bit of a reality check. If it was as easy to just set up a Facebook ad and generate all these leads, everyone would be doing it. Can it happen? Absolutely, it can happen. But it's important to kind of take a deep breath and to realize that the formula or the puzzle has a lot of pieces. And what I'm talking about with you today is I'm trying to give you the big pieces to the puzzle. It's not every possible piece, but the big pieces. If you're going to go on to Facebook and generate and set up ads, think like the consumer. What happens when they see your ad? They click back to your Facebook business page, and then they check out your website. So my point is to get to the point, to get to that third level where you're doing ads, you better have all the pieces in place or you're going to waste a lot of money doing ads. And I've seen a lot of guys who've told me, no, I don't have to do that. I'm just going to do ads without a website, or I'm going to do ads without a Facebook business page that's active. Most of them all failed, to my knowledge. So anyway, my point is that number one, we can get you set up with a website. Number two, you need to have what I call the basics of social media in place before you can do the ads. And the basics are obviously having a Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter page for your insurance operation. So the first thing I do for you on the social media side is, of course, we'll get those set up so they match your website. And more importantly, we will actually post educational content to these pages each day. Again, think about it logically. You do this advertisement, right? It goes out to all these people you don't know. They click back to your Facebook business page. Is it going to look good if your Facebook business page is filled with 1 million solicitations about the products you sell? Probably not. You're going to look like a solicitor. And no offense, most people don't like solicitors in 2020. In my opinion, it's kind of like socially acceptable to hang up on a solicitor. So my point is that we want to project ourselves with social media. We want to show that we're the gurus. We're the experts. Obviously, if you're selling these products that are trust products, you got to let people know that you know what you're talking about. So I guess my point is the point of my social media posting services is to do that day-to-day drudgery of posting the educational content. And that's what I do. I get you set up with the pages. Then Monday through Friday, I post educational articles, updates, tips, deadline reminders. People say, well, what do you post? I mean, we try to interview you again, of course, and try to figure out what your product focus is. So if it's simple, life insurance, then we post life insurance content. But if it's a mixture of other stuff, DI, Medicare, annuities, we'll try to find that type of content as well. In my opinion, again, this becomes a foundational thing so that when you do the ad, people click back to your page and they scroll down and go, oh, look at these guys. Every day they're posting good content about, all these products that they're, marketing. These guys are on top of their game. They are consistent. I feel more trusted to them. Anyway, so that's kind of what our social media posting service is. In my opinion, the best thing you can do is to obviously do the social media yourself. I know I'm going against what I do, but I truly believe that. I think that if you need everyone who's going to be successful with social media, you have to kind of educate yourself on how it works. Be aware of what's going on in your page, understand how to post, understand how to answer messages if they come in. The point of my social media posting service is for the guy who kind of understands it, but he just doesn't have the time to do the day-to-day drudgery, because that really is the key to social media. It's about being consistent, keeping the flow constantly going. And that's where I see a lot of independent agents struggling is they kind of get pumped up about social media. They set up a page, they post for 4 or 5 days, then they get discouraged because they haven't gotten any results and they give up. And then 7, 8 months go by and they repeat the process. They get pumped up, they do it, nothing happened. That's kind of not how social media works. Social media is kind of like, you have to kind of have that go into the gym mentality, right? I always kind of tell people, for anyone on this call who exercises or who runs, it's about doing it each day. And yeah, you might not be in incredible shape after you do it once, but if you can do it for 10 months straight and have a system, you're going to feel great. And you're going to be so much better off than you were when you weren't doing it consistently. So anyway, that's kind of the best way to look at social media. It never ends. It's constant. And every day that goes by, more and more people are on it, more and more possible, views. So anyway, we do the website service. We get that set up for you. We can get you set up with social media. It can be its own standalone. So if you guys have a website that you just love and you want to keep that, but you just need help with someone posting that content for you every day, that's what our social media standalone is, and that's $59.99 a month as well. So I have those two services, and then I have a third kind of service that it's not really a monthly service. We'll call it a case-by-case situation. And, over the years, I've been doing this. I've had a lot of people who say, look, I got the website, Ken, I got the social media in place, but now I really need to start setting up ads, but I'm not exactly sure how to do it. So basically what my policy on setting up ads is, look, if you're going to get to the point where you're going to set up ads, you are going to figure this out yourself, okay? You can't, in my opinion, you can't really pay other people to do it for you because you'll never break even. Because the people who are going to charge you to run the ads are going to be expensive. And I don't mean like $70 expensive. I mean, very expensive. So what my policy has been to my clients is, look, I'll help you out, but I can't talk to you every day, 4 hours a day about this. So if you need help with setting up an ad, I'd be happy to set up about a 30-minute, we'll call it a consulting session, a coaching session, where we can do a screen share. We can talk about what type of ad you want me to set up, and then I'll set up the ad for you, and I'll teach you everything I know. It's going to be $75 for the session, but I'll give you everything I got mentally, and I'll record it, and I'll send it over to you so you have a video of it. And anytime you want to go back and keep trying to do ads, you always can go back and watch the video and kind of remember what I taught you how to do. Now, again, Bill was very, very positive about this. Are there results to be had out there with social media? Absolutely. There's no doubt that doing ads on Facebook is a great thing. On the flip side, it's definitely not easy. I mean, it takes a lot of trial and error. And anybody that I ever give coaching to, I always say, look, you're not going to walk up to the plate and hit a grand slam on the first pitch. You're not. It's not going to happen. You have to have the mentality that it's going to take 4 or 5 tries to really find the sweet spot, because there's a lot of variables when you set up the ad. So that's what I try to bring to the table when I do the coaching, is to just talk through all the situations, and together we can kind of figure out what the first step is doing the ad. Eventually, I think the best thing to do when you really start going is you have maybe 4 or 5 ads going at once, where you're spending, let's say you're spending $50 an ad, for 2 weeks, but you have about 4 or 5 of those going. The top guys who are really generating leads, that's what they have. They have all sorts of different looking ads, different verbiage, different target markets, and that's kind of how they hedge their bet, per se, to get the best results. My goal is to kind of teach you how to set it up so that you can really start to play with it and become good at it. Because I think if you're truly going to use this, you have to have some knowledge of it. I know it sounds great that maybe you can outsource it, but let's face it, how many times do those things ever work? Very rarely. I think this thing has gotten so powerful that I know this sounds silly, but it's almost like email. Like I remember back in 2000 when I was really starting out, and there were some clients, some agents out there who said, I don't know how to use email, and I have no interest in learning. And I remember kind of scratching my head saying, I don't think email is going to go away. And, the guy would say, fax it to me. I'm not using email. Well, about a year or 2 later, guess what? All those guys were out of business. If they couldn't figure out how to use email, they didn't know how to communicate with people. I look at social media as exactly the same thing. It's a communication tool. It's all connected to people's cell phones. It's connected to texting. If you have absolutely no idea how to do any of this stuff, I don't think that's I can't imagine that's good long term. So again, I can't stress enough that part of what I try to do is provide education on how to get up to at least, the average level of using this so you can survive and then, maximize it and grow. So that's my coaching service. That's always available. But please note that I'm not going to take you on as a coaching client if you don't have a website and you don't have a Facebook business page. We're just wasting our time at that point because I'm confident you will not get results. Very hard to get ad results without a Facebook business page or without a website. So again, just to kind of review, I really do two things here. I build websites. My goal is to build you a custom site. And, obviously you guys are going to have technology from Levinson. You might have some technology from some of your carriers. You might have, all sorts of different little things. My goal is to talk you through all that stuff, figure out what's going to work and help you. I don't want to build an encyclopedia website. I want to build a professional site that has all sorts of strategic things built into it. Again, there's no upfront cost for that. It would take about a week to build it, and I'd be happy to chat with anyone interested. 2, I do the social media posting. Again, think of that as it's not the advertising, but it's the daily drip posts of educational content about the products you sell, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. If you needed both of these services together, that is what my Elite package is. It's available for $99.99. Just know that the Elite package, there's no free trial. And that's kind of how it works. I mean, I can't stress enough that step 1 is definitely to go to this website, levinson.snoozy.net. Go in there, look at some samples, look at some of the videos I did that review kind of my strategy. At the end of the day, I know this sounds obvious, but my goal is to really help you guys. But on the flip side, I've tried to create my pricing. I tried to make it very affordable. And, it probably takes us, about 20 hours to build out these websites. I'm not doing that for fun. I'm doing that because I think I can help you for a long time. So the one thing I promise everyone on this call, I'm a straight shooter. I'm very, very blunt. When we set up kind of a quick 15-minute chat, if I think I can help you, I'll give you every idea I have right there before you've even signed up. If I don't think I can help you and your expectations aren't realistic, I'll tell you that as well. No offense. No offense to Bill and his team, but I think at the end of the day, I'm a big believer that everyone has to have a strategy with this stuff. It just doesn't magically happen. And my goal is to kind of come in and make this an efficient process, create some structure, and use all my experience to help you guys be at the top when it comes to your competition. So anyway, that's the story. I'll let Bill kind of come back on, and I appreciate everyone's time.
Yep, that was great, Ken. And I also want everyone to know what we're doing on top of the co-op discount pricing. We're also putting together a coupon flyer for you. So basically, if you write a minimum amount of premium every month, we will pay for this in full. Okay, so if you're not writing that number yet, no problem. You can take advantage of the discount pricing Ken just went over. And then if you are, great, it's 100% paid for. So either way, we have to approve every agent. So you do have to be active with us. Joe's going to show you the enrollment form when we are done. And I'm also I want to make it very clear to everyone on the call that we have multiple options for everyone. Okay, this wasn't launched to everyone to say, hey, this is 100% your only option now. We have a few different packages, and the reason why I wanted Ken on and I want to incorporate his platform into what we're doing is because we have so many agents out there, especially now, that are saying, hey, Bill, I have the website up and running and I have your Insure Me Now direct page and I just can't figure out how to drive the traffic. So Ken is that person that will literally hold your hand and spend the time with you, as he just mentioned, and make sure that you are 100% up and running. You understand everything. He gives you the technology you need to start bringing eyeballs to your page. That's the bottom line. So, with that said, and one thing Ken mentioned is he said, when you're running these ads, yes, it could be tricky and you can't just hit a home run your first time at bat, but also keep in mind, there are no other agents out there that have the door openers you all have as Levinson agents. I'll give you a couple examples. You have these final expense products, these let's say final expense with Kansas City Life or Gerber or the children's grow up plans, where you can go out and market these products to seniors and grandparents and say, hey, for just a few bucks a month, you can give your grandchild a whole life product with a $40,000 value scholarship to any of our 416 colleges. There's no other IMO or carrier that can give you that complete package. And when a grandparent hears about that for just a few bucks a month, no one's going to say no to that. You can use the scholarship gift card, okay? It's a $500 gift card, and same exact process, okay? 416 colleges. You can use that to drip on all of these prospects out there and say, hey, if you click here, there's no purchase necessary. I will give you that gift card for free if you spend 15 minutes on the phone with me and we can talk about your child or grandchild's education. Okay, so think about these different hooks. You can go out and market to the masses and say, you can buy up to $500,000 of term insurance with me on my website. Okay, you can run a quote, apply online, get an instant approval, and print your policy within 7 minutes and not even talk to me face to face or be on the phone with me or on a go-to webinar with me. No one else has a product like that in the brokerage space. We have the same exact thing for guaranteed issue, for DI, for CI, for accident, same process. So these are things you need to drip out there, those door openers Ken was talking about, the loss leaders, if you will, to drive attention back to your website and back to your social media pages. Okay, so anyway, think about that. What I want to do now is Joe is going to explain to all of our agents what exactly is available to you as far as social media marketing, a retail website, and technology that was built for you to drive traffic. What is available as resources to Levinson agents? Joe will take it from here. Thank you.
Yep, thanks, Bill. So, of course, we're going to send out a thank you email with links to everything. But, keeping in mind the new material that Ken just ran through, we also have Insure Me Now Direct, which I'm sure you've seen by now. If not, this is a retail website that actually gives you the ability to market directly to consumers. They can not only run quotes, but actually apply for coverage. One of the newer products we just rolled out is an instant approval and instant issue $500,000 term product. We also have, in addition to that product, we have guaranteed issue life. We have juvenile whole life products. We also have accident coverage, disability, critical illness. We also have our scholarship platform, Relia Shield, all sorts of ancillary products on the Insure Me Now Direct platform. So this is really great for a lot of those clients that maybe don't want to talk to someone or see someone face to face, but they want to purchase that policy online. So by taking advantage of InsureMeNowDirect.com, you'll be able to use all those products and really be in an environment where your clients can run quotes, apply for coverage, and get approved instantly. So extremely powerful. This is absolutely no cost to you as an agent. We set up the entire website start to finish. And what I'll be doing is sending out a link in today's thank you email so you can actually sign up for that platform and get up and running very, very quickly. The second thing that I want to dive into is the website builder through our CRM platform called Agency Automator. I've got a sample of kind of what that looks like, but having a website, we already talked about how important that is. I think just as important is having a CRM platform that not only keeps your name in front of clients, but also helps you do some ongoing marketing. This is actually a great platform. The setup is absolutely free. The hosting charge for the website is just $10 a month, but this actually integrates with the CRM platform that allows you to not only market to your existing database of past clients and past prospects, but also go after some new clients. I'm going to show you in a couple slides how you can actually drive traffic to your website and access a database of over 28 million different contact records and really kind of search through those demographics. So that'll really be something that helps you get in front of new people that you haven't spoken to in the past. And then option 3 is what we just ran through with Ken, having those agent websites where are completely custom built start to finish. So I'm not going to spend too much time on those because Ken did a great job on kind of diving into every one of these platforms and really showing you how we can build that custom website for you. But real quickly here, looking at social media options, this is something that, of course, Ken just covered on the left-hand side, the co-op pricing available for Levinson agents. whether using the social media servicing costs or the elite package. And Ken really kind of did a great job of showing you what's included. I also want to let you know that another great resource you have on the right side of the screen is an additional social media package that agents are using now, where they can actually create content for $1.99 a month for Facebook or LinkedIn. A lot of agents are doing some great marketing on the LinkedIn pages. And then a brand new package that's available is ad management, where they actually create and manage Facebook ads. It includes writing copy, so creating the ads, the images, targeting specific demographics, kind of setting up a budget and working with you on all the different things having to do with Facebook. So I'm going to be emailing out both options this afternoon so you can kind of take a look and see what's available for both environments. Keep in mind, like we said, starting out with any of this new marketing, it's not something that's going to generate, 20, 30 leads overnight. It is going to be a process that you're going to have to maintain over a period of time until they kind of start to see the results. And we have agents that are sharing that feedback with us every single day. I mentioned earlier the CRM platform. A lot of agents say, hey, Joe, I love the lead programs. I love all the co-op pricing, but I just don't have the budget right now to kind of spend a lot of money on leads. And so what we immediately dive into is the Agency Automator CRM platform. What you're looking at now is some screenshots that I took from earlier today, but the CRM not only manages all your clients, but allows you to access two different databases. The first is a consumer database, which has just over 24 million records, and then a business prospect database, which has just over 7 million records. So you can actually pick your zip codes, and let's say I want to see clients between the ages of 30 to 55 that make $100,000 a year, that have a child and own a home. It'll actually give me the name, phone number, email address, physical address, and all their contact information so that I can actually target a specific group of people. And then what it can do inside of the platform, we've got over 2,000 different email templates on anything from cheap term insurance to the new Insure Me Now Direct platform, whether it's the Gerber Life Guaranteed Issue or Children Whole Life Plan, or maybe you want to target someone for Index Universal Life and supplementing retirement. All those are built into the CRM platform. So you can literally drip market on every single one of those sets of prospects or clients to get your name in front of them. And then once they see your email, they can simply click and then be redirected to one of these great websites that you can build or have customized for you. So the entire system, start to finish, is there. Like Bill said, we did the research to make sure that we have the best platforms and the best people, making sure that your website looks as professional as possible to compete with other agents. And one thing that no other agent will have unless they're a Levinson agent is the ability for your client to run a quote, do an application, and get instantly approved. So you're providing that convenience for all of your clients just by being part of the Levinson family. So a lot of great resources there. One last thing I want to mention on before I hand it back to Bill is something called AsureWorks. And I'll explain this really, really quickly here. A couple months ago, my wife and I were shopping for cars. And so we were looking at all sorts of different things. And one car she kept looking at was the Chevy Tahoe. And whenever you Google or look up Chevy Tahoe on the internet, you'll notice that, and this goes, by the way, for anything, whether it's a pair of shoes or if you're looking at any sort of product online, you'll notice that for the next month, anytime you go on a website, you see advertisements for that product. So for the next 30 days, every time I went on Google Chrome on the home PC, all I was seeing were advertisements for Chevy Tahoe. That's because they knew I was looking for a car, and they actually knew specifically what I was looking for, and they were retargeting me to make sure that if I was going to purchase or that maybe I forgot about it, they were going to remind me that I was looking at that specific vehicle for the next 30 days. We have the same exact thing available for you as an agent to market your services to clients. So if anybody in the zip code you pick searches for insurance products or searches for any financial type of planning information, they're going to see your ad, your picture, your website, and they're going to be marketed to for a total of 30 days. So that's the AsureWorks platform. It's extremely powerful, and it used to be only available to big companies, big realtor companies, large companies like Nike and Amazon that want to retarget you. Our system through AsureWorks allows you to break down an individual zip code and target people for those different marketing efforts. Really, really powerful. I definitely recommend it, especially if you're trying to get a hold of people that don't even know who you are, but you're in their same area. So extremely powerful system. Again, it's called AssureWorks. I will send out an email that gives you more information, but it's a really great way to find new people and display your ad online for up to 5,000 times per month.
Okay, good stuff, Joe. We are just about done. I'm going to move pretty quickly here. A couple important things. So real quick, this is one of our agencies, okay, that gave us permission to use a screenshot of his site. And what he did here is he basically built a landing page for Insure Me Now Direct, and he's using it in the employee benefit space and the association space, and he's showing what is the value add to you if you're a small business, if you're part of an association, and how you can offer this to your members or employees, where let's say the member logs into your Insure Me Now Direct site, they can purchase these 16 products, 6 different insurance companies, and they get the free scholarship as the value add by being a member of that specific association or by part of that small business, whatever company it is. So we can actually brand the Insure Me Now Direct site for that specific group. So when their employee or member goes on, it looks like it's all coming from the United States Pest Control Association. We do this for the Kentucky Bankers Association. But anyway, I wanted you all to see an example of how creative you can get by utilizing our technology. So Noah in our office, he's a younger guy we just brought on, and he knows technology, social media, and Insure Me Now Direct platform like the back of his hand. And I encourage you all to call him. And you know he's not Ken French where he's going to build all your social media platforms, but he can give you some great insight and make sure that you're up and running, okay, just as another resource here at Levinson. Okay, let's move forward here. So getting started, everything is on our website. Just go to our main site, levinsonandassociates.com, and you will see we have like a little menu for agent retail websites and then social media packages. As you can see, 1, 2, or 3, the first one is free, Insure Me Now Direct. And that's where you can offer all of these direct-to-consumer products I just went over. Number 2 is the free Agency Automator website and CRM tool. 100% free if you're a Levinson agent. It's $9.95 a month for hosting. Number 3, that is the package available from Ken. Okay, that's $59.99, or if you want the website and the social media package, $99.99 a month, no upfront fees, no contracts like Ken just went over. So you have 3 options. You can use all of them. You can use one of them. Totally up to you. I just didn't want to confuse anyone, and I wanted everything to be very black and white. We have the same menu for the social media packages as well. It's all on our website. Joe's going to send out a thank you email to all of our attendees today. Okay, the next slide is our Agency Automator training. So I encourage you to jump on these every day of the week, 2 p.m. Eastern. Now, again, this is the Agency Automator platform. So this is where, if you want the free basic site, yes, you can take advantage of that. The CRM tool free, take advantage of that. This is where you're going to tap into our database. We have millions of prospects you can market to. That's all part of Agency Automator. We have AdWorks, which is in this platform, the virtual assistant. It's all in this platform. Every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Legacy Armor on the bottom every Wednesday at 2. That's the online safe deposit box. On the way bottom, on the 14th, 2 p.m. Eastern, we handpick the top price GUL going into the summer of 2020. Make sure you're on that call, 2 p.m. Eastern. Okay, now we're going to move forward to our last slide. I want to thank everyone for taking the time. Okay, today happens to be Tuesday. It's also Positive Tuesday, which is rare because we usually do these on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. So we'll end on this note. And by the way, call any one of our marketers. Everybody knows enough to be dangerous. They know the black and whites here, and they can help you to make sure that you know what you're doing when it comes to the website, social media, driving traffic. You know where to go for what, because the last thing I want to do is confuse all of our agents, okay? And that's why we wanted to have this 1-hour webinar. We're going to end on a great note. I don't care what other people say. Climb the ladder of life until your hands are numb and dreams suddenly become reality. With that said, go out and give this a shot, okay? At the very least, Have your website up, have your social media pages up, start e-blasting and dripping, okay? Even if you get one like on Facebook, it's one more like than you had yesterday, and eventually it's going to build, I promise you, and I know because that's how Levinson was built in a nutshell over the last 20 plus years. That's exactly how we did it. We have 19,000 plus agents in every city in the U.S. today, and 99% of it came from an online presence and social media. With that said, have a great Tuesday. Have a great week. Thanks again. Good selling. Take care.